Hello, I'm Stuart Blower, and I normally say that when I've arrived at the riverbank before I've started fishing. Oh, well, I'm fishing now, as you can see, and I've just had a hook pull. It was a chub though, so it wasn't a barbel, but at least they're feeding, so that's encouraging. I'm ready to cast out again after that lost fish. You can see my bait there. It's called Barbel sticks. I'm fishing Frankfurter sausage flavour, and as you can see there, I've got a PVA bag of pellets and also some barbel sticks that I've put in and I've broken up as well. It seems to be working. That was an early fish that I had on there. As I said, didn't get a chance to talk to the camera prior to fishing, so let's catch that barbel. Now this is a barbel. Hopefully I'll land this. Of course, chub and barbel are built differently, and so that's why the one is more susceptible to hook pulls, of course. Doesn't feel like a massive fish, but they're all welcome, particularly in conditions like this. Bright sunshine, middle of the day. So hopefully I'll get this one in the net. There it is. As I said, not a big fish at all, but very, very welcome. The fish has gone back. As you can see, I'm filming this in the shade. It is quite a bright day out there now, and I think it's worth pointing out that when we do fish for barbel in conditions like this, I'm on the middle Severn, so the river is normal summer level, so it's not too bad. If it was a small river, I wouldn't be fishing it, because we have to take into account the fact that the conditions are really not suitable for fishing for barbel. I know people do, and we've probably all gone out in the summer and caught fish, and I'm not being judgmental or critical in any of what I say. I'm just pointing out that we do have to be careful, particularly when we release the fish, because I think at all times barbel need to be nursed and need to be released only when they're ready. But certainly in conditions like we have at the moment, or like I'm fishing in at the moment, where the air temperature is high, the water temperature is up, and the level of the river is at normal summer levels, then I think we need to be just a little bit careful not to stay away from fishing. You get folks who say that they'll never fish in the summer or stuff like that. That's fine. I don't think we necessarily need to go that far, but I think we need to take into account where we're fishing. I'm on the middle Severn. It's quite a pacey stretch where I am, so it's well oxygenated, but the important thing is to get those fish back only when they're ready. Otherwise, if we put them back too early, they haven't recovered, they go up, belly up, and they'll float downstream and they'll die, and none of us want to see anything like that. So it's okay to fish in conditions like this, but the important thing is just to have that little bit of extra time allowed, whereby we release the fish only when it's ready. And if you hold it in the margins, let the oxygen get back into its body and the flow of the water coming through, it'll let you know when it's ready to go back, and that's the time to release it. Barbel number 2 on. This one feels a little bit better than the first fish. Oh, it's powering off, which reinforces the comments I made earlier about giving the fish plenty of time to get back once they're out of the water. It's a bit like us if we run a sprint. We're quite out of breath at the end of it, and we need time to recover sometimes. Maybe some of us more than others, but the fish are the same, and barbel in particular, the way they fight. It's coming in now, and I'm just going to drop down out of camera view to net it. I'll bring this one up to the camera now. I've got an unhooking mat down here, and I'm kneeling down, so not standing up. Don't stand up for barbel pictures or any fish pictures for that matter. And there it is, marginally bigger than the first one. Still a small fish though, but I'm very happy. I just had a third fish on, and that was a better one. You can tell these things, can't you, when the fish is deep and it's not racing off like a train, but it's plodding along. That was a good fish. I played it for a few minutes, maybe 90 seconds or so. Was bringing it in, and my reel locked. I must say I've had some problems and some issues with these Daiwa reels. I bought them originally for my barbel fishing, and the bail arm, when I was playing one fish on the lower Severn, just went. It collapsed on me, and then I had some other issues with the handle going and different things. Not been happy with them at all. In fact, so much so that I replaced my carp reels recently. They were Daiwa before. I went for Shimano, and as soon as I'm able to, I'm going to do the same with these reels as well. I don't like complaining, and I'm certainly not complaining, being very objective about it all, but I just haven't got the confidence in that brand name anymore, which is a shame, because for years I fished with some Daiwa 40-50s, and they were excellent. I use them for carp fishing, barbel, pike, big bream, tench, the whole lot, and they never ever let me down. In fact, the only thing that went wrong with them in the end is I literally wore them out, no fault at all with the reels, but I've been very disappointed in the replacements that I've made since. So I'm afraid barbel, it's going to go for Shimano next time. I just checked my Twitter account and saw the news, the very sad news that Dave Wagstaff had died. Some of you may not know the name, certainly not to do with angling at all, but if you're of a certain age, like me, and you like your football, and particularly if you like Wolves, and you've followed Wolves for a good number of years, the name Dave Wagstaff will be familiar. He played at the time in the 1970s with Mike Bailey, Kenny Ibbott, Frank Munro, John McCall, Derek Parkin, Phil Parks, Derek Dugan. Oh, could go on, couldn't we? Naming those players. I can picture them in my mind as if they were in front of me playing now. Of course, checked Twitter and I saw that very, very sad news that he had passed away. And that's why I don't bother about a camera in the water or a lost fish or broken reels, because ultimately they're just things, aren't they? It's life that's really important. So I might be getting a little bit philosophical and going off a little bit from angling, but to me, angling, I'm passionate about it, but not obsessed. There's a big difference, and what's really important to us is people. And on that, I was staying right up to dark, but my wife has just texted me to say that we're having our granddaughter tonight, so I can't really wait because I'm always excited to see her. So I'm going to give it another 20 minutes or so, see if I can catch that third fish on the bank. Otherwise I'll be breaking down camp and setting off for home. the video comes to an end now. I've started to put my things away. The camera's the next item to be packed. And as always, I leave my rods and my landing net right to the very end. I've always been like that ever since I was a kid. Everything else will be packed away, even in the rain. But that rod, I'd leave it out as long as I could. One last cast, I've always been in that frame of mind. But sometimes I've had a fish right at the very end. Once or twice as I've been bending down to pick the rod up and it's gone off. So there is a bit of method in the madness. If you want to know how I get on in the remaining minutes, and also any other sessions that I do this week, then check out the blog article link, which you can find here on YouTube in the description box. And if you're out fishing yourself, tight lines